Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. My thing just dinged. I think I got a message. I'm not sure. Um, we're going to put the gas tank in tonight, and that's why we're down here on the ground. I really don't like rolling around on the floor, but this is what we got to do to get this gas tank in. And I figured you would enjoy the comedy of me struggling to get this thing back up in the car. The good part is there's only about a gallon, maybe 2 gallons of gas in here, so it's not really super heavy. The problem is it's a very obnoxious shape, and using the jack to raise it up this high is a little bit more difficult. And also with the filler neck, it will be easier for me to maneuver it if I'm underneath and lifting it up and then holding it there while I get the straps on the gas tank. The metal bars that go around the gas tank to keep it in place. You just got to be super careful. You never know how stuff's going to go. But there's one thing we still have to do, and I mentioned it in the title. The wiring that I took care of on the last episode when we were talking about the new relay box and the new mount panel. I'll show you guys all of that. But that brought up a whole new can of worms and a whole bunch of questions for me on why they're using gigantic cable to run a simple 12 volts to an actuator for the relays for the uh, for the door actuators. I don't get that, but there's a lot of weird stuff that was going on with that board, the old one. With the new one, it's going to be so much cleaner, so much smaller. It'll look a million times better, and there might actually be a handle. So I'm going to show you guys some electrical to start. We'll put the gas tank in, and then we'll do a little bit more electrical, and then we'll get into more electrical later on. So what I've got is, you can kind of see it right here. I've got a cool new soldering iron. It's cordless. I haven't tried it yet. I just charged it. It's been on charge the last couple of days, and I want to try it out. So we're going to try it out with our new lead wire for the gas tank. Now, this is 2 gauges up from the original. So the original is 10 gauge, and I'll show you the original wire over here. Since we have a good view of everything, this is the original lead wire and ground. Now, the new filler sender has its own ground, so we don't need that. It's already welded in there and everything. Hey, Liz. And then we're going to upgrade the signal wire mainly. And like I said, it's only 2 gauges up. So we're going from 16 to 12. I believe that's what it is. So we're going from 16 to 12. The reason we're doing this is, number one, it's a very short distance that it's traveling. So I'm not worried about current or anything like that. Number two, I'm not also worried about resistance because we have a very short distance to travel. But what I am concerned about is the elements. And that's why we're running a little thicker cables, because we have thicker insulation, which is going to protect it a lot better. So if I do have an ohmage issue, it'll show me on the gas gauge when it's totally full. It won't read totally full, or actually it'll go the other way. It'll read over full. And yeah, so, but I don't think we're going to have, just going up 2 gauges isn't going to be enough to cause any kind of major ohmage resistance. So we're going to go with this for now. And again, this is just for testing stuff. I have 5 gallons, and my neighbor was cool enough to loan me his 5-gallon tank. So we'll be able to see this 24 gallons. It should read just under half a tank. once we get everything wired up. Again, since there's so much wiring in the trunk that has to get replaced, and all the key power and everything else is so bizarre, all that stuff had to get cut out. I'll show you guys up there later. But we might actually end up redoing this. Now, the good part is this is very accessible. So even if we do redo this, it's not going to be a huge endeavor like it has been. So I'm going to get this soldering iron ready. I'm going to show you guys how that works. I'll also show you the new sending unit, and it's got clear coated. This obviously got TBL, and this is our foam pad that is going to rest up against the body of the car. And then on the straps, we also have foam pad. Now, the reason we put foam padding on here is to insulate the gas tank from vibration, because what happens is you get bubbles and it gets foamy when it vibrates a lot. So the better insulated your tank is, the less foamy it gets, and you get a better pickup and less evaporation, all this other stuff. Now, we don't really have to worry about evap in this car because we only have a send and a return. We don't have all the evap stuff, all the emission stuff is gone. That, bye-bye. Like that huge spider that was here about 10 minutes ago, out. It's gone. It's a huge guy. I don't know. He was about size of a soldering ring, and he was meaty. He wasn't like a huntsman spider that are really, those guys are huge. I mean, they're the size of like a burger bun. This guy was small, but he was beefy. So, of course, that rolls away. And I'll get to the wiring first. We'll do the quick wiring for the sender, and then we'll get the sender installed in the tank, get the tank up, and then check fuel level. That's going to be the big thing for tonight. So I'll get going on this as quick as I can. If you guys have any questions or whatever, definitely put them up. I'll check the chat as often as I can. But I want to show you guys this cool stuff. And you know, like I said, this is a first test for this soldering unit. Normally I have plug-in units, so this will be a good one. I like the wireless. It makes it easier when you're under the dash or in the trunk or something. Wireless is going to be great. I hope. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to bring you guys over to the side here, and you can kind of watch from the side. Hopefully that works pretty well. We're done with this, right? We don't need this anymore. He's gone. All right. So I'm going to slide you guys over. Sorry about the noise. And tilt you down so you can see what the hell we're doing. Move some other stuff out of the way so we can go back a little bit. There we go. And yes, I'm sitting on a foam pad because it's a concrete floor, and I like my butt. Also, the weather stripping that you see on the gas tank is this stuff, and you can get this at any home improvement store. It's regular 1/2 inch foam. This is 1 1/4 inches wide because they apparently don't make 1 inch wide, and he's going to work great. This was, I don't remember the 10-foot roll. I pitched the bag that it came in. But this stuff comes in handy for anti-vibration stuff. It's sticky on one side and not sticky on the other. So this is handy stuff to have around the shop. If you want to just have quick closed cell padding, this is good stuff. So I'm just going to put this over here because we're done with it, and swing my ass around. Oh, and also one other thing that I did was I TBL'd. I'm going to tilt you guys up a little bit. You can still see everything. I TBL'd all of the underside where the gas tank is going to go. That way I don't have to take the tank out again to do any protective stuff. The chassis is in really good shape on this car, which is surprising. It only had 55,000 miles on it when I got it. So it's actually in pretty good shape. I have my gauge and I have some of my connectors. I already picked them out for what we're going to do with our lead wire. I have some of the tools. There's our old sender. I'm going to show you guys the new sender, which you saw already, but he is now clear coated, and we have a new Keps nut. This is metric, 5 mil. And you can see this is already built in. The ground is built in. That's a Keps nut. See the little teeth on the bottom there on that washer? Those dig in and act as a contact, and also kind of as a lock for this. So when you put the wire on there, it goes good. Now this one you can see has 3 pipes where our old one only has 2. This got filled in with hot glue. And he also got crimped here on the backside. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to prevent just evaporation. So this got filled with hot glue. He's filled about that far. And if for some reason that hot glue breaks off or whatever, there's no way for him to come down through this because he's crimped closed. And then I have, this is called a thread protector, this little rubber thing. They sell those at hardware stores. You can get thread protectors in a whole bunch of different sizes. They're great. You can use it for capping brake fluid lines, all that stuff. And then while the hot glue was still hot, I pushed the thread protector on, and then just a zip tie with the head of the zip tie on the top away from any rocks, dirt, chips, whatever. Even if it didn't have the zip tie on here, it would still stay put. This thing is glued in there pretty hard. So we're not using this pipe at all. I honestly, I wish I could get to just take it out and, you know, delete it. But this is part of the evap system that came on the emissions cars. Mine obviously didn't come off. The old one didn't come off. And like I said, the only thing I'm not hot on this is the plastic strainer pickup versus the cloth one on the other. You can see the cloth one right there is the cloth one. That sock is a lot better than this strainer, in my opinion. So that's it. This guy's ready to go. He does have the return, like I don't know what you want to call them, diverter or debubbler or whatever, which is nice. The other one just had a straight pipe and it dropped right back in. Actually, it went into the cup and then it dripped in. This is basically a straight pipe, and then it kind of takes the air out so that it's just gas. There's no bubbles. And so just gasoline falls back in. That's the theory behind it. I'm sure some does bubble through. And this is our main feed. It picks up through here, gets sucked up, and then any excess comes back here. This is our evap. So this all got clear coated, and I got to take the tape off of here because when I sprayed the clear coat, I didn't want this contact getting clear coated. So we're done with that. So I want to transfer, I'm going to transfer those pipes over. I'll do that right now just because that's super quick, pretty easy. Like I said, here's our old one. I thought we could use it, and that's why I clear coated him. And I thought I could use the Keps nut off this, but of course it's an entirely different size. So for this guy, I'm just going to use a Phillips driver and get these gas lines off here. These gas lines are still flexible. They probably have 3 or 4 more years left in them, and they're preformed, and that's why I'm going to keep them. Otherwise, I'd use a new gas line. Gas line is very different from regular coolant line or any other lines. So when you're doing fuel lines, make sure that you get fuel. Don't get coolant. You will have a bad time. All right. Sorry, the one tool I forgot to get. Phillips driver. Oh, no, he doesn't want to work on here? No? Doesn't want to go in there? It goes in there on this guy. Oh, the mosquitoes. Okay, he's going on this guy too. Just takes a little while. Oops, he's coming out. Okay. Make sure your clamps are loose. And then we'll do one at a time just to make sure we get them on the right lines, right? Oh, you thought you sprayed your whole body, but they find the stuff you miss. Easy way to get these off is to twist. And sometimes they need help. So we're going to go get a helper. And I'm also going to find out what size this is so I can use a socket. Socket will be a lot easier. And I get a lot more torque. See 7 mil? Excuse me. He's not a 6 mil. Is he 1/4 inch? Of course, he's not any of these sizes, right? I thought he was a 7 mil. This is awesome. He doesn't fit any of these. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. He literally doesn't fit any of these. That's incredible. All right. And this is about 1/4's about as close as we're going to get. But it's actually not really the right size. Oh, the other thing I needed. I wish I had my soft jaws, but I don't. Of course, using whatever tools I have, right? So to get these off, you can use a pair of pliers and just grip. Don't try and squeeze too hard. You just want to grip it better than your hands can and go back and forth and back and forth, and it'll eventually release. Obviously, support the tubes that they're holding on to, but you just want to just wiggle them back and forth and wiggle them back and forth. And that's it. And then once they're wiggled, you can usually hold them off like that. So we'll do this one first. This is our return. And where's our pump? Usually these are 2 different sizes. So it's kind of easy to not screw it up. And we got to remember this went down and then up, right? So we're going to go a little bit closer, get on a new area. And this, we're going to do different, than how they did it. We're actually going to be able to access these. So we're going to put these hose clamps where they can be accessed sort of at a 45-degree angle from the outside. So yeah, I guess 1/4 inch does grab him. He just felt really loose. So I'm going to rotate him a little bit and make sure you're past the flare. That's a really, really important part. Otherwise, you're just going to have leaks all over the place. You don't have to super clamp these. That's it. And yeah, you want to make sure you're past the flare. That's a big part. So hold this guy up here. Bring this guy off of our old unit. Maybe. There we go. And where did our clamp go? Oh, he's still on there. Let's make sure he's going the right way for us to do what we want to do. And he is. And another thing, and this is kind of gross, but it does work. I don't really want to go up and get the WD-40. So a little bit of spit goes a long way. You'd be surprised. So we're back on. I can feel them at that spot. And again, like I said, I'm just going to go a little bit extra because we have brand new positioning. Get them a little bit loose so we can get over the bump. Oh, crap. Put this guy on. Put him on backwards. So I'm going to pop him off. See, this is what sucks about having OCD. Is you do stuff like that. Okay. So now loosen them up a little. And then we can tighten them up a lot. Now our screws are accessible from the bottom. Okay, clamp down there. You can feel it stop. When you feel it stop, whoops, we didn't line that guy up right, did we? Let's get him. That looks funny. It was more focused on the does that look about correct? That does. Okay. Yeah, it was more focused on where the clamp was going versus where the hose was going. So, yeah, now we can clamp him back down. Okay. We're clamped back down. Our hoses are going in the same direction, and we have our ground ready to go. For the ground, we're going to go straight to chassis. We're not going to go to the battery. We're not going to go anywhere else. This is going to go get routed up, and it's going to go straight to the body. I have a screw that I want to use for the ground, and that's what we'll use. So this guy's ready to go in. We also have our locking ring, which goes like this, and he locks. Pull our ground through the top here. He locks the sender into the tank. Goes in a very specific direction. This guy got TBL'd. He got cleaned up and primered and TBL'd. So he goes in and he locks it to the tank. Now, the O-ring that's in the tank, I'm going to grab a fingerful of grease and I'm just going to lube up that O-ring. I might even just use WD-40 just to make sure we have that nice seal there and we don't rip the rubber or anything like that because it is probably pretty old. And they did not send me a new O-ring. They did send me a new clamp, but I like that one. I'm gonna keep that one. So now for our line, we're gonna fire up our new soldering iron, and this is made by Fan to Tick. I've never heard of them. Hey, Gabe. That's one hell of a long ramp. Yeah, these are race ramps. It's a two-piece ramp. It's kind of hard to see the front section. It is a long ramp though. It's a long car. So it comes with this really cool stand, and this rotates, and it's a magnet, so you can actually take it apart and put it in a backpack or whatever. But it's pretty cool. This rests right in there, and USB-C charging. And then it says tips are inside. So you just push the little tray open, and all of your soldering tips are in here. We're just going to use regular. God, they have some really cool shapes. This is definitely made for super fine electronics. It is not made for industrial. I'm not quite sure how these go in. Oh, okay. See, I'm still learning on this stuff. So do we completely unthread it? Oh, okay. So he's got a little collet right there. He goes in. Oh, wait. Okay. Is that, yeah. Okay. So that's fully seated. Spin him around. I might look to see if they have wider tips just because. See this mosquito? Got him. That's, put it over next to the car. That doesn't help. Put it next to the tire. That's a pretty fine tip. On the end are your degrees. So depending on what you want to solder, I mean, it goes up to 840. So your base is 390 and 570, and then you just have a power on button. And I'm going to grab my solder. And the only reason I'm soldering this is to, number one, test out the soldering unit. And number two, I just want to protect this stuff. It's going in something that's going to be exposed. So I'm going to use this stand as a stand. And all I'm going to do is what's called tinning. And I'm just going to tin these wires. And that is an extra level of protection of the copper in there. And so do we hold this down? There we go. And it's glowing red. I don't know what happens when it gets hot enough. Oh, shit, it's pretty quick. So what you're doing is I guess the best way to describe it is you're infusing the copper with the solder, and it makes for a much stronger connection. This guy won't stay still for me. Wow, he heats up quick. I already have a green light on here. Yeah, the bigger problem is this tip is not designed. It's designed for doing like microchips and stuff. It's not designed for doing this stuff. Whoa, come back here. So we'll give it another notch of heat. It's not really going to hurt anything. I'm just hoping that the extra heat spreads quicker. Yeah. He works well, but he is definitely designed for much smaller applications because he's just sticking. I mean, he's heating up the wire. I can feel it. And he's definitely heating up the solder. But whoa, hey, 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 hey. Now he's just flinging stuff all over the place. But his precision is a little too much for this. It's sort of like painting your house with a 1-inch brush. It's like, yeah, you can do it, but it's going to take you a very long time. So, okay, we like this guy. We're going to hold the button and we're going to power him off. Just need a different tip. That's all. I might try one of the other tips next time. I'm going to clean off this tip. Comes with a little sponge tray, which is really cool. And this holder is really nice. I mean, you can hold the whole thing up by that. So set him off to the side. It was about $80, something like that. I'm going to get my cutters, my little trimmers. Oh, and he does come with a bunch of accessories. So he's got a bunch of extra pads, and he came with a desoldering tool, which is really nice. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. It's got suction down here at the bottom, and you hit this little button, and you get the solder hot, and then you go, and it sucks the solder up. And then you eventually clean all this out. And I've got a bunch of sponges and other stuff in here. There's a set of tweezers, and I mean, like I said, this is designed for, you know, little tiny wiring, not big 14 gauge stuff. So I know I should have had all my tools here already. I know. And I'm gonna guess that other guy's a 10 mil. So I'm gonna get a 10 mil ready. So I have a feeling that 5 is a 10. Okay. Let's make sure I'm kind of correct. Oh, I'm way off. It's an 8. Okay. So where'd my guy go? I'm just gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. Okay. And then I have a heat shrink as well. When you're doing electrical, you want to use heat shrink to protect, especially when you have connectors like this that are just open. They're kind of exposed. So when you do the heat shrink and you eventually shrink it down, it's going to cover everything. So now I'm going to poke that guy out of there. Okay. So, and make sure your heat shrink's on before you do it. And the heat shrink that I've got and I like to use is a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1. That ensures a really tight fit. Sometimes it can rip, but most of the time it won't. 3-to-1 is really, really nice. And that's what I like to use most of the time. So we're just adding a eye connector and eyelet, and we're going to crimp this down. Now you can, if you're hardcore, you can solder it if you really want to. Once you've crimped it, like it's poking out at the end here. So once you've crimped it, you can go back and solder it if you really want to the eyelet connector, if you really want to. I'm gonna kind of 1.5 crimp this. And he's on there. He's not coming apart. So we have a nice crimp here. Now we're going to heat this up. And I'm not quite going to cover the eyelet portion. I don't know. Can you guys see that? You can still see a little bit of the eyelet because the eyelet is going to go on here. So I need to have access to it. But I want the rest of the connector pretty much covered up. So I'm going to grab the heat gun and put this 10 away and get an 8. And put the screwdriver away because I don't think I need him anymore. So yeah, isn't this fun? You guys are like, Kevin, you're insane. Why do you do this? Just go buy a car. What did I say I needed? Oh, the heat gun. The heat gun might be loud. So I apologize for that. I'll try to get it as quiet as I can. This is a DeWalt heat gun. This thing's great. I've had it for years. And it's digital. It has a little digital readout on top. It has a high and low. And for heat shrink, you don't need much. Okay, this is an 8. So I'm going to set this guy in place. And I'm going to hold him at the end to make sure he stays in place. Whoops, wrong way. And then once he grips onto the connector, then I can let go and I can move the wire around. So now he's gripped on. Now I can just move the wire. And just rotate him nice and smooth. There you go. And then I put this in a cool down mode. I put it on low for a minute and let the heating element cool down. So there's our nice semi-finished temporary connector. And what we're going to do with this is, I guess, we'll put this in the tank and then we'll attach this and then we'll run this wire up. Now, this one is going to be different because this is our connector. So we're going to use a bullet connector for this. So again, this is spare wire. So I'll save that. I won't crimp that end yet. So we'll put that stuff. Now we can put this in the tank, locking ring, all of that, and try not to burn our own cord. And then once that's in, we can lift our gas tank up. So give me a second, and I'm going to get some light over there too. And I'm probably going to bring you guys closer as well. So get some of this stuff out of the way. Yeah, I have lights over there too. So get the 10. Tool we're done with. Where did the socket go? There he is. Done with that guy. I need the 8. Sorry, it's 8 mil, not a 10 mil. I think I need the quarter still for the hose clamps at the other end. So let me put this stuff away. And then we'll get to the tank. Which is going to be a fun thing, right? Yeah, we like to have fun here. All right. That guy's cooled off. So. Okay. I should probably leave the heat gun out because we're going to be using it on these other connectors. Now, for the other connectors, I have simple spade terminals. Nothing incredibly fancy. I have it for the correct gauge wire, except I'm going to probably fold the smaller gauge, the 22. I'll probably fold it in half to use this red. And this is, I don't remember it. I laid out these connectors. I'll have to look at it again. We will need our hammer and our punch. And this. All right. Let me get some lights over here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. Do another one. I forgot. This isn't fiberglass. This is actually steel. So we can take our white backing tape off, or protective tape, or whatever you want to call it. Now the adhesive on this stuff is not awesome. So for the straps, I actually had 4x4s and the floor jacks sitting on them for the last couple of days after they got painted, just to keep that pressure on them so they didn't lift off of there. Now these guys I did quick because I knew we were going to be mounting it tonight. So then I can fortunately stay in place while we do this. So bring you guys over with me. And maybe we should do, hang on, let me change your view just slightly. I'm just going to raise you guys up a tad smidgen. So we'll save our slider box here. There we go. Okay. Now you guys can see the tank and locking ring and all that stuff. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to grab a drink. Oh, no. Can you believe I'm almost out? Come on. All right. Into the recycle it goes. All right. So I got to be a little careful because this is cardboard. I need a pick tool because he's definitely in there. By the way, if you don't have one of these at your shop, go get one. It's called a pick tool. And you can see it has a 90-degree tip at that end that I've damaged already. He's got a pointy end here. It looks like a dental interest. What do you say? Nah, keep going with your projects. Okay, I will. This thing is handy for a million different things. So definitely pick one of those up. Actually get a couple because you'll probably bend or break a couple. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want this piece of cardboard to go into the tank. So there's all of our fuel. There's probably 2 gallons in there. So here's our kind of our true test. This tape, it like has spit for adhesive. It barely does anything. So we're gonna get this guy in and set. Oh, hang on, before we do that, come here, grounding wire. Like I said, I'm gonna shoot some WD on that. Actually, you know what? This stuff will work really well. This is a synthetic lubricant, and I don't really want to use a paper towel. So this is from PB Blaster. This is a really good, just basic lube, and I'm gonna load up this Q-tip and go all around, get as much of this as I can on this O-ring. The O-ring's very exposed right now, so Good. Sloppied all that stuff on there. Now, line this guy up. He goes in a very specific spot. And then our locking ring also goes in a very specific spot. So we need to get that spaced correctly. Whoops, where'd he go? Okay, stay right there. Thought that was it. Okay. Maybe? What? Oh, because this light crapped out on me. Okay. Well, let's use this light instead. That's fine. So there's only 3 ways this can go, really. And there we go. Or there's only one of 3 ways it can go. You can do a lot of it by hand. Ow! Oh, did you hear that? I got all of that. The last section we're going to do with a punch and a hammer. And you're going to get metal on metal there. And that's going to tell you that you are now locked in place. There's a locking tab right here, an alignment tab, and there's an alignment tab over on this side as well. And somehow he's not in that alignment tab. So we're going to just loosen them up so we can get him in that tab. There he goes. Okay. There he goes. Just on the edge and didn't want to pop in there. Now we can come back, tighten this guy down. There we go. He's actually looser now. But you know what else we can try? If we want to try a tighter tab, is we can try the one that came with the new one. I don't mind doing that. I think it's still in this box. Yep. We can try him out. If he grips tighter, hey, great. Oh, he does have a new O-ring. Oh, shoot. Okay. I mean, shoot. God. There's bunk into stuff. So he does come with a new O-ring. So at the very least, we'll put the new O-ring in, right? So let's try this out. Although it does look good with the TBL, I have to admit. Okay. So this guy comes out, comes up. Round wire can go up there. So pull this guy out. And he has a little bit of fuel on him, but that's okay. Let's And let's get this O-ring out of here. Again, pick tool. Oh, yeah, he's not petrified. He's still rubbery, which is good. He would have worked just fine, but brand new is going to be way better. So let me lube this guy up, get him in there. Lubed. Of course, he is a smaller diameter. Than the original. So he does not fit. And that is disappointing, but not surprising. So I don't know why it's so hard. They're like, oh no, it's an exact fit. No, it's not, dude. No, it is not. They just lie to you. Just lie to you. All right, so we're lubed up with the old O-ring, which will work perfect. And what do you? Well, now that one doesn't fit in there either. So, all right, let's use the new one. Maybe it smushes down in there. Maybe that's the deal. Jesus, it's stuff all over my hands now. Let's try it, right? Of course, I'm working as far away from as possible from the actual spot I need to work in. So. Okay. So we'll get our O-ring lined up as best we can. Get our notches lined up as best we can. Right? We are in our notches. Yes, no, maybe. And okay. God. Okay. This is probably going to be a tighter fit. So we have to go a lot further to clamp this down. Okay. What a pain. Okay. Damn. Okay. Jesus. That looks pretty well centered on there, and he's on there tight as hell. So this one, yeah, this one has the little divots too. This one has different divots, and it's definitely, I mean, it's a tight fit, so it should work just fine. Cool. So we have our fuel sending unit in there, and it's super tight. We have a new ring clamp, and we have a new O-ring. So that is a good thing. All right, now comes the fun part. Well, we got to attach this guy, right? And then comes all the fun part. So I'm going to slide this tank pretty far back, and then I'll put the two straps up, and then I'll get underneath the tank, lift it up, and then I'm going to bolt the straps in. So give me a minute I got to go get the straps. I'm going to grab a rock star too, because I know this is going to be a pretty serious endeavor. So, all right. I'll show you guys the straps. They look great. The straps are silver with the foam. So these are our gas tank straps, and they look absolutely fantastic. And they have the foam padding on the opposite side. So, gotta remember which. Actually, they're ambidextrous, so it doesn't really matter. But they do go kind of per side. So this is 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of silver metallic, and 2 coats of clear. And these are our bolts. And I gotta remember, I think that's a 14. And so I need a 14 here. Nope, 13. 13 for that, and a 13 for that. Okay. So the bolts got the rust reformer, which basically cleaned them up and turned them black again, which is nice. Mostly black. But yeah, these guys are going to work great. We got the threads all cleaned up on both of them. So yeah, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna grab a rock star, and I will be right back. Whew. Whew. That is what I'm talking about. Oh wow. Oh wow. Why does it smell like dog food in here? It's so weird. All right, what else we got? Okay. Okay. Got all this crap in my way. We're reloaded. So I sort of know where this wire is going to go, and I'd really like to feed it through the trunk and down to this and then tighten it, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to have to feed it up once I get the tank in place, which kind of sucks, but so this is our lead wire. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And make sure he goes all the way down there. Now, the other good part about running that heat shrink a little bit long is it's going to work kind of like a anti-vibration. And so in combination with the keps, the teeth on the keps nut, it's going to grip all this stuff really, really well. Again, don't crank down on this stuff. Just go finger tight. You can feel when it grabs. And there you can see it digging into the heat shrink. That's great. That works awesome. So we have our two wires here. Just move them to the side for now. And this guy, we can probably bend a little bit. And that's it. This thing's going to be, actually, yeah, we'll help him out by bending him a little that way. Now comes the fun part, getting under here and, oh God. All right, and I apologize. It might bonk into the mic when I'm moving this tank around, so I apologize in advance for that. This is going to be fun. I'm wondering if I should do one of the straps. I think I should do the back half of the straps now. Well, I got to get the tank moved. So let's do that. We'll get the tank moved, and then we can do straps. These things don't like to stay out, do they? Hopefully you guys can still see me down here. Oh, this thing is obnoxious. Yeah, I'm gonna need that other lamp too. So we're done back here. But now we're gonna come over here and stick it there. Oh, there is my hole. Great. Okay, found it. Okay. So these guys actually run up and over the diff. So they're getting very close to where they need to be. And I'm trying not to scrape this on the concrete. All of these corners are like razor sharp too. So. Okay. This does not slide on furniture pads. Yeah, this is going to be easier with the straps in because I have to get the filler neck up there too. So. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fun. Fun, fun. Okay. So this goes up and he's gonna come this way. Yeah, he's gonna come this way a bunch. Okay. Okay. Yes, you could use a jack. You could. Oh, you guys can't even see me down here. All right. I'm gonna move the laptop. Bring you guys down here again. And I'll get you as close as I can without going over. This needs a new battery. The charging socket failed on this, so I just swap out batteries. There we go. So run that there, and hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more light too. Oh, who else is in here? We got other people in here. H-Town, what's up? Don't mind me. I'm just watching. Okay, you got it. So I'm gonna do the. Let's see. How do we do this? I'm gonna do the bolt on this side first. That's not just because the wrench is over here. So these straps they work on kind of a swivel. There's a bolt that goes through this eyelet, and then on the other end, there's a bolt that goes through the top that goes to the chassis. So there is a spot right here for it to go through. So we do bolt head on the outside and nut on the inside. Yeah. Can also see how much further I'm going to have to slide that tank back. Oh, this is a crazy awkward position. Great for the abs. Just a really, really awkward position. So now we can tighten these guys down. I don't know the torque spec on them. So I'm going to go, call it good. Damn it. The corner of this tank, I swear, it has bit me more times this week. Oh, that's pretty tight. You guys can see the corners of these tanks. They don't trim them or anything. They just leave them square and then like fold them up. Oh yeah, that's fine. No, it's just you just move the knife edge way further up. All right. So yeah, even after a few days, these guys still lift off. That's how shitty the adhesive is on these. It's not a very good adhesive, but it's meant to be under pressure the whole time. So it only stays in place for, a day or two if you don't put pressure on it. So it actually might be easier to jack this. I don't know. Let's put this strap on and we'll see. It actually might be easier to just lower the car, right? So, so since these straps don't get tight when you tighten, you can kind of just give them a good, oh, damn mosquitoes. And I want to smack the side of my face, but my glasses are right there. So I know I'll just injure my face. So snugga snugga. And the straps can still move around even though they're in there super tight. So got our straps in. It would be so easy if I had a lift. If I had a lift, have this done in half an hour. All right. Yeah, this needs to go. And of course, it's digging in over there. So yeah, I have to get this filler neck up through this little slot right here. So this has to get tilted as it goes up. And then the straps have to go underneath. Yeah, it's probably going to be easier for me to jack it up. What sucks is I know I can lift it and just push it up there. I won't be able to see anything. I won't be able to see where the bolts go for that, and I won't be able to. Crap. Yeah, I won't be able to balance it and put those bolts in at the same time. So I think we're gonna have to lift it. Sorry, this sucks, but this sucks. All right, I gotta figure out a way to lift this thing. Damn it. All right, I'll pull it out of here and put it on the jack, and yeah, that's gonna be the best way to do it, I think. So I apologize, you guys. I thought I had a kick-ass plan. Of course, I find one thread. Yeah, there we go. All right. I thought I had a kick-ass plan to just hold this up there, but there's no way. I'll be able to hold it there, but I won't be able to do anything else once it's up there. So I'm gonna grab the jack and yeah, I'm gonna grab the jack and raise it up. And then I might lower the back end of the car to help lower and get everything closer. But that involves me getting out and all of that. So let's see if let's take one of these straps out. This is how they do it at the factory, right? Oh, I miss my electrics. I really miss my electrics. So spoiled, right? So spoiled. Okay. Set this guy to the side. Put our bolt and nut together. By the way, this is a great way to keep things together. Just put your bolt or nut where it came from. It's hard to lose it that way. So, yeah, we'll do straps. Well, yeah, I gotta do straps after it's raised up. No, I got skills. I can do this shit. Okay. Okay. Let me grab a piece of wood, something with some wood. Hopefully that's kind of stable. And you know what? Furniture pad might be too much. So hang on, we gotta clean some stuff up here. Bring the furniture pad out. Yeah, this is how you move that stuff around. All right. Well, I don't know if I made it worse or better. All right, let's do this. Okay. That should work. Yeah. Um, all right. That kind of worked. What is our problem? Just a balance issue? Yep. It's actually a fluid issue since there's gas in here. It wants to go both ways because it sloshes back and forth. So it wants to fall to one side. So I need to get the furniture pad out of here. Oh, come on. Roll back. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go. Hey, stay there. All right. Stay up. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to balance. He's so close, but he doesn't want to. Oh, come on. Oh, shit. Of course. And the higher up you go, the harder it's going to get, right? Oh, this is a pain. But you guys like seeing this stuff, right? So now all of this fluid just keeps going between the two sides. So it's just going to kind of keep falling one side or the other. So I have to go past a little bit because I have to get the filler neck in. I'm using my hand to rotate the front wheels on the jack. Hey, this thing is really hard to balance. Okay, okay, stay right there. You're okay right there. And I'm just getting blinded. Okay. Okay. So there we go. Kind of. See, this is the problem. I need to have two hands on this thing and jacket. All right, time for garage Pilates. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. We're getting closer. Oh no, don't tell me I'm going to run out of jack. I might actually run out of jack here. Oh, come back. Okay, stay with me. And what am I hitting on? Am I hitting on something over there? Feels like I'm hitting on something over there. I think I am. And I don't know what. Oh, damn it. Okay. Now I know. We're on the wrong side of the bar here. Nope. Don't need to come down very far. Just a little bit. I'm sorry I'm blinding you guys. Trying to keep this thing from falling over. Okay. 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 Stay right there. This thing. Okay. So here's the problem. This end has to go up first, up through here. That's the problem. But we have it balanced there. So he's got to come down and come back. Okay, we'll get this. Okay. Okay. Okay, buddy. You're okay, buddy. Come back here. Oh, don't you fall over. Nope. Nope. You're okay. You are okay. Just a little bit down. Yeah. You're doing okay. Yeah. You're doing fine. Oh, we were almost there too. Oh, we're so close right now. Okay. Oh. Now our other problem, the hoses at the other end are actually preventing it from sliding that way. And so it makes it very difficult. Hey. Okay. I can't imagine if this thing was completely full of gas. Okay. Now, we need to pull this back. Okay. Okay. Now we can go back to floor jack Pilates. And see, I told you that thing just hooked my glasses. Okay. Now we come back as we jack up. Oh, no. Damn it. Oh, shit. Of course. What is this hooked on? There's no fucking way. Oh my God. Oh, and it just bent that. Well, it's still solid, but damn. How the shit did that even hook in there? All right.
All right, we don't even have a jack on here now, do we? Okay. How did that hose even get hooked on there? That's incredible. Dude, you couldn't do that in 1,000 years. The inlet or the outlet hose hooked itself underneath the brake line, the hard line for the brake, for the rear brakes. It hooked itself up underneath there. And as I was lowering the tank, it was bending the pipe itself. And that's what was holding up all of the movement. Couldn't do that in 1,000 years. There's no way you could do that on purpose. Holy crap. That was amazing. All right, I'm gonna figure out how to get this thing back up here. Like I said, it might just be easier. I don't have a good way to do this. All right. We're regrouping, trying to figure this out. All right. I don't have a good way to do this. I wish I did. All right. So hang on a sec. We're gonna figure this out. I can't believe that thing hooked in there. That's incredible. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Yeah, thankfully the pipe's okay. Damn. Okay. So how the hell do we do this? It was so close before. The problem is the gallons of gas in here. That's what's making this difficult, because you have to balance it. Otherwise, it just wants to fall to one side or the other. I don't have any platform big enough for this. Like, I don't have any pieces of plywood or anything for that would keep it stable. And even if it was, it's just a single pivot point. You can tell from this, it'll tip right over. So, okay. Maybe a bathroom break will help. Damn it. I don't have a really good way. I'm thinking of, like, motorcycle straps or something like that. There's no place to hook into that's not in the way. That's the bigger problem. So this guy's he's on the Fernie pad in this. So let me figure something out. Yeah, crap. There is no good way to do this. Okay. Yeah, give me a minute to figure this out, and I'll take the mic off when I go to the bathroom, and then I'll be back in a minute. So I apologize, you guys. This is if there wasn't gas in here, this would be a lot easier, because it's not, with the gas going back and forth, it's just fluid. So it's weightless. Then it weighs 5 pounds. Then it's weightless, and it weighs 10 pounds. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to balance that. And if you weight it on one side, it just falls over. Or if you weight it forward, it falls over. If you weight it backwards. So you try and control it with a corner, it doesn't work. So trying to figure all that stuff out. Haven't gotten it yet. Give me a second. I'm going to go take a leak, and then I'll come back, and I guess we'll put this thing back up again. I can't believe that hose hooked in there. That's amazing.
That is truly, truly amazing. There's literally a spot for a hose to go in there. You couldn't get your thumb in there, but you get your pinky in there. And somehow that hose hooked in there. That's incredible. I feel special. All right. Take off the mic so you guys don't have to hear this. I'll be right back. Okay. I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea on how to do this. So let's get where's our other I thought I had another furniture pad. Didn't I have another furniture pad out? I thought I did. I guess it was this one. Doesn't really matter. So okay. So yeah, we're gonna take this strap off. It's a little premature with the straps, but that's okay because we were trying this way. And we're not doing that now.
have an idea that involves a lot less balance and a lot more solid and very minimal chance of one of the fuel lines hooking inside one of the brake lines. Jeez, can't even imagine. Couldn't do that if you tried. All right, so get our strap out of here. Just lay down. Wrenches out of here. And we're going to do our wood out of here. Our jack. Of course, the jack runs into the piece of wood. And I'm laying on the free pad that I really want to be on. Okay, fine. That works. All right, get this crap out of here because we're not taking the tank up to the car. We're going to bring the car down to the tank. In theory. In theory. All right. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to put the gas tank on this. As soon as I get it out of here. Just going to do it over on this side. I still don't have room. Oh, it's so obnoxious with all that fuel moving around. Okay, there we go. Now he's pretty balanced. Okay. Get our furniture pad out of the way. And big brain, right? Okay. So we need to go forward. A lot. Well, we can't go forward anymore because we're too damn high. But we can angle, I think. Now, you're not going to hook in those lines again. I won't let you. I'm not going to let you this time. Nope, you come under the exhaust.